EA Sports brings you a special edition of the National Football League for this Christmas Day matchup. It's the Browns and the Panthers, and it's coming up next.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a moment ago, the lights, the cameras, the action, all the pyrotechnics, everything was ablaze, everything was allowed here in Bank of America Stadium as Carolina emerged from their tunnel. And we are ready to go as the Panthers get set to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the third overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
It was good. Four touchdowns, one pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 20 carries, 126 yards, and a trip to the end zone as well.
And he has 12 touchdowns on the ground this season, so you know he's a big part of their offense. They count on him, not only to score the touchdowns, but now they can play action, fake it to him, throw it out to the wide receivers, get it to other players who can also produce.
From the 27, Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Returnable for Grant. .21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They will be led out by their dual-threat quarterback, the veteran from Clemson. It's Deshaun Watson.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish #1, including himself.
A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 13 carries, 57 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the #4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on them.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down, stopped at the Panthers' 41. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A give running right is Chubb. He'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Back to throw, Watson sliding out of the pocket. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Throwing again is Watson on the move to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On first down, Watson rolling to his right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A give. This is Chubb. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They'll roll him out right. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. So nothing doing there, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And they'll get this down to the 10.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the 1st down. It's now 1st and goal.
Give him 9 yards on the carry there, a good run, and now 2nd and goal. That's what they wanted out of that 1st down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Smith to return it. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 40 yards on the ground for him so far.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Second down, here's Chubb again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
He'll buy some time right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and that makes the score 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Smith to return it. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Off of play action, Darnold. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Watch 14. Watch 14.
To the air again, Darnold. Shakes, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he's been busy with his feet. He's been quite the scrambling man.
And obviously that can break down a defense, but a lot of it is just that they just get trapped with worrying about it so much that other things break down as well. You know, you break the huddle, and you're not just playing what comes out at you. You're like, oh, God, don't let him outside of the pocket. Don't let him beat us with his legs. And then he starts to beat you other ways.
Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On first down, it's Watson. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Panthers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they really won't have much time to work with, just 19 seconds showing on the clock. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's second and a yard.
You must be dreaming. Mike 28. Mike 28.
Here's Darnold. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you at home as we take you around the NFL on this 25th day of December. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, and it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. Lamar Jackson has a touchdown pass. From there, we'll stay in the AFC East as we jet down the coast to check on the Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Jared Goff with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott has run for a touchdown there. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Browns. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Each team making their final preparations for this second half. We're about ready, too, as we'll send you back up to Charlotte and rejoin Brandon and Charles at Bank of America Stadium.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Here comes Grant on the return. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Able to force him out of the pocket right, but still able to complete it. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Stop short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. Now Chubb. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on fourth down. They'll run for it. Chubb. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Prior to that, they were 2 for 2 on fourth down conversions in this ballgame. Now 3 for 3.
And you've got to figure their luck's got to run out at some point, doesn't it? I will just tell you from a defense's point of view, Someone has to step forward on 4th down and make a play himself because they're just letting it happen to him right now.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. McLaughlin for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now Darnold. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The Panthers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 72 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They run it again with Chubb. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Two times, two times.
Now Chubb running right. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Check. 45 to Mike. Tighten up. Tighten up. Pull it together. 45 to Mike.
They'll run with Chubb. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. Toward the pylon, caught, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Smith to return it. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. A first down throw, Darnold. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Now this throw caught left side, and he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Darnold completes it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Darnold to throw again. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. 2nd and 2.
Mike is 59. Mike the 59. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Back to throw, Darnold. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Anderson. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Darnold. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. To throw is Darnold. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Folk's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Come on, fellas.
Cleveland offense making their way out. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish. Just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Browns, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.